if you're looking for a running back, brother, it is rough out there. I don't know about your league, but in our Rhode Island Scumbag League, the pickings are slim to the point where, yes, Chris Rodriguez is a guy we're looking at. Chris Rodriguez, 3% owned, 12 carries, 65 rushing yards, and a touchdown, more yards than Bill Krosky-Merritt. However, a lot of those came in garbage time. So let's talk about guys that you might pick off the waiver wire and whether or not you should take them over our guy, Chris Rodriguez Jr. Number one, from the New England Patriots, former practice squatter, elevated in Ramondre Stevenson's absence, Terrell Jennings, 1% owned, but coming off his first rushing touchdown of his NFL career and his first reception in his NFL career. Yaj, who do you want, Chris or Terrell Jennings?
I'm going to go with Terrell Jennings here. We don't know how long Ramondre is going to be out for, and Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels really like to use multiple running backs throughout the game, as we saw yesterday. So he's getting the short yardage work. He's getting the goal line work. And like you said, he has his first reception. So it's not like he's just a short yardage battering ram for them. So in this case, Rodriguez, I mean, there's still kind of like a hodgepodge between him and Bill, and you still have McNichols thrown in as well. So in this case, I'll take what seems to be the more stable role for now, which would be Jennings actually in the Patriots backfield.
Yeah, very surprising to hear, but you're not wrong on that one. Rodriguez has very little PPR utility, doesn't even have a target this year. Is a solid runner, but mostly average. Jennings, on the other hand, has improved significantly since his debut season in 2024. The former undrafted free agent out of Florida A&M has made a good impression, has stuck around with a new head coaching regime. His teammates like him, and not only is Ramondre Stevenson injured, but also he's a guy that can get yanked out of the game at any given moment because he fumbles the ball all the dang time. So, yeah, I think that Jennings any given week could really break through and break out. We saw it a little bit in week 9 against those Atlanta Falcons. We might see a little bit more going forward. Vrabel's a guy who came up under Bill Belichick. You know he's going to give his undrafted free agents, his end-of-bench guys, a chance to show out. Next man up. 5% owned, but outsnapped Tyrone Tracy in week 9. That's right. Devin Singletary, New York Giants. Do you want the veteran back who might now be New York's RB1? Or do you want the guy who might be Washington's RB2, Chris Rodriguez?
Sure. Just give me the new RB1 for the week with the Giants, with Devin Singletary. It's mind-blowing considering he was Tracy's backup last year. So what has transpired in New York? I don't know.
Brian Daboll. Yeah. Brian Daboll transpired in New York, Yash.
Well, either way, Brian Daboll has not made up his mind on who he wants to use, it looks like. So the good thing is there's only 2 of them. Actually, no, because Jackson Dart still rushes the ball too. So again, we're kind of dealing with a 3-headed monster either way. But you still have Jaden Daniels to deal with in Washington. So, I mean, let's go with less mouths to feed here. And in this case, I'll roll with Singletary.
Yeah, you never really know what's going to happen with the Giants. We just know Daboll is an angry man. He is a buck that has just been shot, and he's going to be taking some giant leaps going forward, trying to get away from his own mortality. And that is a tragic figure right now for a guy I think is actually a pretty decent coach. Just dealt terrible hand after terrible hand with the New York Giants. Some of it, of course, is that he's throwing away aces. Doesn't matter. At any rate, Singletary, 32 snaps in week 9. Tyrone Tracy, a guy I love, only 25. I guess Singletary.
I'm with you.
I got to imagine at some point Tyrone Tracy's going to get the job back. Maybe this is some kind of weird motivational tactic, but man, how do you trust any member of the New York Giants? And keep that in mind because we got a Darius Slayton thing coming up next. All right, 9% owned, our last guy to go up against Chris Rodriguez. Again, we're just picking from the bottom of the barrel right now because it's running backs halfway through the fantasy season. But a guy I actually like quite a bit. Former Michigan stud, Los Angeles Rams running back, Blake Corum. Yaj, you want Chris Rodriguez? You want Blake Corum?
I'll go Blake Corum. Again, it just comes down to potential usage at this point. And I think if Kyron ever went down, that is, you're an RB1 bell cow role right there. And even not, like he's still getting some work regardless. It's not a ton. But again, Rodriguez, take a look. Before last week, he really has not done much at all throughout the season. So yeah, I'll take the upside of a possible Corum role change than what we're dealing with Chris Rodriguez. Because again, no matter what happens, it seems like it's going to be him and those other 2 running backs. Jaden Daniels did get hurt, but that's another person that's in the equation. So now just give me less to deal with, which in this case would be Corum.
I'm going to agree with you on Corum. We saw a little bit of a shift. Kyron Williams is carrying the ball a ton. Sean McVay's a smart head coach. He's not going to wear out his RB1 to the point where he can't go in the playoffs. So I think we are going to see more Corum. A little bit of an anomaly, 2 straight blowout wins, and the Rams, not throwing the ball as much as they normally do. It's a 57% pass run split over there, and they ran the ball more times than they threw it in last week's win over the Saints. However, Corum wasn't necessarily the guy. He wasn't putting up those big numbers in garbage time. That last drive of the game was a Kyron Williams drive. So I do think there is enough trust in what Blake Corum has brought to the table and a steady improvement, negative 0.6 rush yards over expected as a rookie, plus 0.6 rush yards over expected per carry in his sophomore year. So I think he's a guy that you can trust and kind of bank on at least a miniature breakthrough going forward. If he's out there, 9% owned, go out, grab him. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,